Joining me right now, bringing him back in, is Benji Irby. How we doing, Benji?
How are you, Carl?
So you're, a New Yorker yourself. You've had your ear to the ground on a lot of this stuff for as long as it's been going on. What's your take on the street life or lack thereof over the last few weeks?
Well, what's funny was I've actually been out all this week because I do work a regular job during the day, so I've been out during the week and I was driving, and all week I would say from like Monday to Thursday, it seems like people were kind of more so heeding what authorities were saying. You got like a lot of bare store shelves. I actually went out to New Jersey. I live in the Bronx. I went out to Jersey to Walmart, and it was pretty much ransacked for the most part in there, but it wasn't too much pandemonium. But I noticed a stark change yesterday, Friday. I feel like because it got a little nicer outside and people have been kind of sitting around all week, that people really started to ignore what authorities were saying. There was way more traffic yesterday than I've seen all week. I mean, I've been able to zip up and down the highway, everywhere all week. Friday, we had a whole lot more people outside. It got a little warm toward the late afternoon, evening. It was actually giving me. I was in Harlem, which is a place where a lot of people tend to just hang out. In the summertime, everybody's out in the streets. Restaurants are open, and stores and things like that. And it felt more like that, with some store closures, but it kind of felt like on Friday, like people weren't taking this as serious. So I guess for Cuomo to try to put down this smackdown, which I mean, I'm sort of in support of, but sort of not, because the libertarian part of me still can't quite, with not being able. I'm never going to quite gel with that, being a libertarian.
Yeah.
The libertarian is never going to be able to get that, but I understand, I guess, to an extent. But I think yesterday, though, people were largely just ignoring it, and the vibe to me from just people out on the street kind of felt like this is starting to be a little bit overblown.
The other thing, too, is like, look, I have a libertarian streak in me as well, but one of the things is people are starting to see these, especially in New Rochelle. I was down in New Rochelle the other day at this quarantine camp, and there's some National Guard troops there in camo, and obviously, like, what people don't understand is, like, there's a standard operating procedure within the military. Like, if you're deployed somewhere, National Guard, look, I was a Navy SEAL, like, we all have a standardization across the spectrum that says, this is what you wear in any type of active duty scenario. Theirs happens to have full body armor with a helmet and everything like that. They're not there to tie people down. They're not there to arrest you. They're not there imposing martial law. These are people there in, I don't want to say enforcing, but protecting areas. These are our friends. These are our support as a community. And I think the president was very clear about that the other day, that if you see a person in a military fatigue uniform, they're not there to shut you down and throw you in a camp. They're there to help. They're there to help you. They're there to help me. They're there to solve problems. They're to aid local law enforcement and things like that. But right now, we're not seeing that response from people. We're seeing that knee-jerk freak out of people not knowing what is going on here. I just want to ease their things. Have you seen any of that in the areas that you've been out?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely here in, New York City, as I spend most of my time, uptown here, Harlem and the South Bronx. It's definitely here, but people are reacting to what they're getting from the media. I mean, President Trump is calming and reassuring and, presidential, as you like. But if people are going to take that, the news media take that and translate that into something bad, translate that into, the sky is falling and the world is ending, instead of, basically China has unleashed a biological agent, and this is like the precursor of what biological warfare would look like. But instead of girding up our loins and coming together as a nation on that, it's Trump is racist because he's trying to say that the virus from China is Chinese, but it is, and why racism. But that's what they're doing. And unfortunately, to try to get political power, they're tearing apart our entire country. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame what's happening right now.
It really is. Benji, we're going to hold you over into the break real quick, but I want to bump out real quick. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got more of this coming right at you. This is Newsmax Now, the Saturday Report.